Congregate. What an awesome place. Many games crafted by many talented creators, and that is undeniable facts. You see, March, making a game is hard, but that is okay because it was a journey. To see yourself making a bad or good game that impacting how experienced you are in this field. Why I said that? I found one game developer that has, let's say, have different taste of art. And that is Muntahu, who has a nickname I am game developer? Whoa, that is a bold statement right there. I mean, people can say I am game developer, I am music maker, I am double maker. People can do that. But this guy, whose real name is Andrew Putrajaya, that I cannot believe it. A Binus University student. Binus. Binus. Well, this is interesting. With these games, I think I believe it. Yeah, I believe he make good games with such low score and the facts people are not happy about it. I do believe any form of art people make even in video game, including this, as long it's enjoyable and memorable, it's fine all along. Except this. Well, how about we see how his game looks like considering he is an intern at Ultimate Studios. Yeah, remember Ultimate Studios? I made a video about that abandoned game studio. Very sad indeed. Now, you might think he do all these sort of gaming projects and learn valuable knowledge, right? How his game can be this bad? Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's start with the easiest first. Spaceball. Oh, or Spaceball. In this arcade game, we are playing a spaceship shooting alien and avoid asteroid. That's it. We just dodge things and we automatically shoot things. At specific score or perhaps hidden timer, the game speeds up. The asteroid I mean. And you instantly got weapon upgrade, which is cool, but I hate when their hit detection are inconsistent. Sometimes you hit them, sometimes not, especially in this concerning situation. Because I just realized you can only hit them on the center position. What? That is just nonsense! When the bullet attack range getting wider so their hitbox too, you know? So, it's useless. Well, at least I get huge high score. That's good. The next one, Escape Maniac. Is this guy Maniac? Well, no. It turns out we are some sort of random guy who's trying to escape his wedding? And why he do that? Just look at it. Fat princess. Yeah, it could be worse, right? I don't know why you want to get away from her. Hey, I get it. Fat princess. But have you ever heard my 600 LB life? We can make her better. Make her healthy and slim again. You can literally persuade her to do workout like Shirley from Shaun the Sheep. Think, man. Think. A princess. Rich woman. Why? Alright. If the man refuses her bidding, let's just get this over with. Huh? What is... Oh, I'm this dot. Okay. This is the game. Just this. Really. You evade any guards, any CCTV, and traps for 3 levels only. That's it. We escape our wedding, thus the fat princess... Huh? What happened? She explode like this Chinese dude? Yeah, seems about right. Next one. Food flex. You hungry now? You feel hungry now? Kinda. Because this is just guessing game or choose the correct answer if you know. That's it. Just answer this yummy food came from. I hope I can taste it. This one is simple yet complicated. Primitive survival. Oh, RPG Maker assets, huh? I can see that. In this game, we are playing as Hunter. I guess, to hunt some wolf meat and with level 13. Okay, I hope it's not a foreshadowing, but anyway, let's start the game. And, March? This is just game, okay? A game. Chill out, man. Chill out. Okay. So, according to the game, there are 2 ways to defeat them. Bounce this boomerang towards them, and farm aura to throw a rock? Farming aura? In this game? Yep. Really? why don't you just say reload? You know, that is simple and straightforward since this rock is nothing more but projectile. But at least I can smack this evil wall before they start munching me. Also, there is upgrade system to enhance your rock or boomerang speed by using meat. Basically, upgrade points. But also score too. I mean, if you lose, those meat accumulated into your final score. Oh, yes, yeah, I lose. What else? Mock me even further? What's going on? Why can select the level? What? What? Oh, amazing! Guess what? If you reach level 13 and fail, the game bugs out. You cannot select any level, thus you stuck forever. Curse you 13! There is also many things that pisses me off. One of them is unintended artificial difficulty. If you try to upgrade your boomerang speed, this make the game harder. This handicapping you. Especially on higher level when the boomerang spawn at the center of the wall, it can hinder its movement and your hitbox to bounce it was small, so you must move precisely while shooting those wolves. That of course, you might accidentally hit it if you are impatient. It's simple but feels incomplete, but that's fine. Rather incomplete than incompetence like this next game, Banana Shooter. This game right here. Whoa, unfair beyond belief. How unfair it is? Well, let's check it out. To begin with, the game story started with a soldier informing his king about food shortage. Nothing wrong though. Huh? Birthday? I'm lying? What? What? What kind of conversation is this? What kind of... What? Monkey's Forest? Still there? Oh? March, calm down, buddy, calm down, buddy. This is just a game, remember? This is just a game. Why monkey? Yeah, why monkey? Sounds funny. Sounds funny? The fuck is that all about? Okay. What kind of conversation between a higher hierarchy and his underling supposed to be? Beloved, charismatic, true leadership. Joking around? No? Yeah. I don't see anything wrong with that. No, I don't think I can comprehend it. Let's just skip to the game itself, alright? It's not funny, it's annoying. In this game, we are playing as both red and blue monkey soldiers that protect their home from pesky humans. Yeah, you like that, March? You like to see evil humans suffering? You like that? Good, because I'm suffering too in this game because how unbalanced this is. To be precise, on one side only. What you need to do is to attack incoming soldiers using banana, the sole purpose that these soldiers watch for. Ironic, isn't it? Maybe other fruits or vegetables, but not meat. But what kind of king that can even provide its people from famine and hunger? Incompetence! But to steal from others? Shame on you! So, we gotta defend this place at all costs by constantly hitting them while upgrading our abilities to maximum. Sounds easy, but oh, that's not the case because those soldiers can hit us back randomly. Although you have 300 health because to the left you head on each monkeys, you might want to swap sometimes. If you are lucky enough, I find out that one monkey was enough to do the job because you can literally do rapid fire with massive attack range like this. I am seriously doing this the whole gameplay. Hold space at very bottom area and enjoying the view. That's it. Your partner, that wake, only useful on early assault or one soldier slip pass by. Or you want to swap until you have enough point to upgrade it. Yes, they have separate upgrade menu, but it's not worth with how small points you get. Also, every time I swap monkey, they have 1 second delay that makes me lose the target. Seriously. Like they try to process what is going on, and then they realize, oh, it's my turn now. Why? So, in the end, I only use red monkey and rarely use blue monkey. But don't worry, dude, just sit back and relax.
Shut up, sit down, relax.
Let me fight this hunter, knight... Huh? What the... Nazgul? Nazgul? Really? They send Nazgul to steal a banana? What? Oh yeah, in another dimension, Professor Tolkien wrote that Sauron sends Nazgûl to retrieve the banana from Frodo. That's it. Masterpiece! But oh, these Nazgûl are dangerous and fast. I mean, some enemies are Walker and Sprinter, but these Nazgûl show no mercy when they attack you. I literally have to be careful as they hit like a train, or you lose. As the rules say, if one monkey die, game over. But it's not hard, just unfair how you treat one monkey superior than other because the game design intended to be like this. I suppose one monkey got below an upper area, but with how small points I get, it's not possible. But since what you do just camping here the whole game while tanking their attacks, the game got so boring easily. Because one simple decision makes the game unbalanced, unfair, and exploited at the same time. It's called dominant strategy. But the next one is leaning to that with a sprinkle of life lessons. Mr. Green and the Five Giant Trees. This game is okay, but it is incredibly masochistic. The story began as there is a village called Greenland, not just Greenland though, that once prospered, but heavily polluted. Yeah, March, I feel you. Then one day, a resident on that village called Mr. Green was tasked by Spirit of Tree to rejuvenate the whole land. Then shall we go to rescue this land? There are 5 levels, but you need to start it from level 1. Also, nice try to imitate Star World from Super Mario World. Well, it should be easy, right? Hey, whoa! Hey man, slow down, we are not in Sonic game. What is going on in here? We got purple thingy and constant barrage of enemies spawning from right side? By the way, that purple thingy is invincible, so you must constantly moving to avoid him. Even you try so hard, the moment you start any level, every monster instantly assaulting you. Even it slightly scrape your head, you taking damage. What? Oh my god, I can't believe it. This is the first level and already hard? But why? Also, you have to constantly shoot these enemies. You want to know why? You have to get points. It is important. That is the only way to increase your experience to level up. Also increase your health too. And that is also the only way to heal yourself. I am not kidding. So basically what you do is to survive 5 levels with its 2 stages by constantly doing hit and run. Well, your health gradually decreases because every enemy won't stop assaulting you. Even when you successfully shoot them, they immediately coming back without any respawn timer. But you have to do this or you cannot restore your health. This game is an allegory of dying. He's slowly dying to save this land. Even he is fading away as his skin color was blended into the background. Look! This land is cursed and so must be cleansed once more. Come on, Mr. Green, let's purify this land. Kill them, destroy them, obliterate them. We gotta see it. Cool. Die. What is that? What? Die, and die. We plant all seeds on every level and that's it. We save the land, all thanks to Mr. Green. Yeah! What? Is that Spreadshot? He put Spreadshot in the cutscene but not in the game? You Why? Just why? Well, at least the land is safe from pollution and whatever this thing is. Yeah. And the last one is somewhat hard if you don't focus to handle it, or this is your first playthrough. Also, I might consider this as lost media game as I cannot find it on other websites, and that is Balance. It's a simple economy simulator that your objective is to reach 5-star ratings for your city before 250 days. But, this is the city? Looks like unhospitable. Well, it turns out there is a story behind it as there is an unknown chaos that obliterates the entire city. Don't know why that happened. And we as Master of Economy, yeah, exaggerated as usual, going to help the city prosper once more. City of Gold. The first thing we need to do is to collect gold and food. But I don't know how they can do that. It's empty. Maybe donation from Mr. and Midas Rich? But to do that, we need to build university to produce students. Yeah, that's how economy works. Build a mine as the identity of the city itself. City of gold. Infinite gold, baby, yeah! But remember, a city cannot live without farms, so we have to hire Farmer Chu to progress the game until you realize you need to hire many students to produce human resource to fill the requirements of each buildings to hire specific worker. Just as an old but golden advice said, little by little will become mountain. That is what you do. Get more resources to reach each star ratings requirements to beat the game by hiring many workers. But don't forget, there is a challenge, or to be precise, a random event that positive and negative, such as receive free resources or donating to Haiti. Yeah, Haiti. And sometimes criminal and life-threatening events that can cause trouble, or negative number. The problem, as far as I know, that events were scripted on specific days, so you have to play it first time to experience it. And I say scripted, no randomized events on its attempts, making the game stagnant from the beginning. No element of surprise whatsoever. However, since the game was kind of speedrunning, I can understand that it might be too much for anyone. But some event require specific buildings to deal against specific event using specific worker, like technician to increase income at night when you already built power supply building, or policeman to arrest criminal, or doctor for resident at gold mine. You have to acquire them, or else not good consequences. What also not good, everyday cycle is 10 seconds, 5 seconds morning to evening and 5 seconds night. So you must constantly hire many students and workers to achieve star ratings. Do not be frugal, you must spend money aggressively. In the end, raise gold, produce food, repopulating humans, hire them as many as possible. By literally doing this repeatedly, like that one episode from SpongeBob when he got caught lying by faking his muscles, and torture by pressing remote button. All day long. Good. And that's it. 5-star city as we promised to the people. Man, I'm such a good president right here. Overall, not a bad game, simple but less challenging because level progression never handicapping the player. That means no natural challenge to entertain you because how the game was intended to be limited at best. It's easy and fun, but yeah, repetitive as this game has no option to expand the city because it is what it is. And that is all Flash games from Andrew Putrajaya I can play. Although he has other games in his portfolio, yes, there is other games he created for web, Android, and iOS as personal works, and for client I guess? Sadly, I cannot locate them, but at least I got to play his Flash games. And that Flash games was okay, but as people said, it is pretty underwhelming. All of these games are fine, they are playable and functional, in fact I beat them all. Sure, there are arcade type games that solely focus on points, fun indeed, but as you can see, just like the rest of many people who play these games, some games are just too simple, too agonizing, even too unreliable to a point that almost no longer providing expected progressive challenge. At least he is trying to make a game without that at least he is trying to. Simple but not very good. Is it bad art? Nope. All art is fantastic unless you make it nonsense in the first place. You might want to take drawing lessons first. And there you have it. I am game developer Flash Games with his own art style that's fine but below my expectation. Low scores that speaks the truth. But don't worry Andrew, you made a history with your works. Good job man, and be successful whenever you are. So thank you for watching and see you next time. Ciao!